Yo, what's up, guys? Figured we could do a brief live stream. A lot of games today, a lot of esports, a lot of promos as well. So Underdog Fantasy, if you haven't taken advantage of this, Anthony Richardson, they're lowering his line to half of a yard. So obviously he's going to go over. Of course, naturally, I gave out this play on the last live stream, and we're 4-4-5. So Anthony Richardson's going to cash us out for the 20x parlay from yesterday's live stream. Really good promo. I mean, we were really hot on Underdog Fantasy. We hit 5 in a row, huge parlays, 6x payouts. So let's kind of get into some plays for today. So I explain this all the time, but, I follow a very mathematical betting strategy. I use a bunch of different tools. So one of the tools I use for Flip is the positive EV tool. So this tool, it doesn't do anything that complicated. All it's doing is for the sports books you use, so you can just select the different bookmakers you use. I typically set max odds around plus 250, but all it's doing is showing you big line discrepancies where there's value in the market. So Flip has this under at plus 190, under 7 runs. Other sports books, kind of have this around plus 160, plus 165. So all of these sports books, right? These are billion-dollar companies that have invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. I mean, right? Caesar Sportsbook, they have top-of-the-notch data feeds. It's a billion-dollar company. They're pricing this at plus 152. That's a data point. All of these sports books are data points telling us where a line should be set. And again, what makes sports betting so fascinating is the market is so fragmented. So Flip has a max bet size of, $250 if you hit the max button. So I'm just going to hit it for the max I can, right? So this positive EV tool on all the books you use, it's just pointing out value, nothing really complicated. So if you put in, some other sports books you use, maybe you have access to, Betway. Maybe that's a sports book in your location. Maybe it's not. But the more sports books, you have access to that you're signed up for, the better. So you can see there's a really good play on DJ LeMahieu on FanDuel. His over 1.5 hits. FanDuel's pricing this at plus 250. All these other books, again, they're data points helping us make more informed betting decisions, right? We use all this data to find the best bets, to find the sharpest picks. And again, you want to move quickly. So get on this under 7 if you want to tail it. I've explained this before, but really good lines. I've already hit some bets under 10.5 runs in the Royals game. Let's see if this is still available or if the line moved. But anyways, you got to move quickly if you're trying to get in on the best betting opportunities. So you're going to see we got the under 10.5 at minus 150 on Flip. Now it's down to minus 195. It's now at minus 195. Literally, when I bet this 30 minutes ago, it was, where are we? Under 10.5. You can see right here. It was at minus 150. Now it's down to minus 195. So you really got to move quickly. You're literally day trading the sports books, taking advantage of, the inefficiencies in the market. You can see there's an incredible play on Circa on the Braves game. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's pull up PrizePicks. Let's look for some value. We have a big sweat on PrizePicks. This play was also from a live stream. Austin Hubbard, we need this fight to go over 12 minutes. Again, great lines, they're not going to last forever. If you learn anything from these live streams, it's already up at 14.75 minutes. And again, we bet this in a couple different slips over 12. So we can get the 2x. I hit it for 500 here. We can still get the 2x if this fight goes over. Here we can get the full 10x. So we have a lot of money on the line with Austin Hubbard. But without further ado, let me just kind of get rid of Caesars. We can start looking for some bets. Again, I don't have access to FanDuel right now, so I'm not going to be able to place bets on FanDuel. Every book is legal in a certain amount of states. But anyways, let's kind of start looking through. So we can start out with soccer. Why don't we start out with soccer? So if we go here to Inaki Williams, so let's skip over that play. But you can see there's a lot of line discrepancies. Maybe we start with Underdog because yesterday we were pretty hot on Underdog Fantasy. So we can pull up the optimizer. Again, nothing complicated going on here. This tool is just going to show you big line discrepancies in the market. All it's doing is reading in these tens of thousands of lines from Underdog and trying to make your life a little easier. And you can see they just locked it. Nick Mullins, his passing yards line was at 111.5 on Underdog Fantasy. If you head over to PrizePicks, where is his line? 105.5, right? So PrizePicks has him substantially lower. So again, even if you have, a lot of people think, oh, I can outsmart the sports books with my sports knowledge. And I don't think you can, but if you think you can, that's great. It still helps you to find value, right? Getting the additional 6 yards of value on Underdog Fantasy. Obviously, this play moved, but Underdog had his line at, 111.5. So we can see, is it back? No, they completely pulled it. Underdog had his line at 111.5. These other sports books were at 105.5. Like, getting this additional value, it's only going to help you win more slips long term, right? And that's what you should care about, right? If you want to make money, like, this is just going to help you make some, find additional value, make money long term. So they moved one play, but what we can see is there's another play on Kyle Trask, right? PrizePicks has his line, or Underdog has his line at 83.5. And then, so why do I have two Underdog tabs open? Let's get rid of that. You can see PrizePicks has his line lower at 79.5. And then you can see ParlayPlay has his line even lower than that at 77.5. So I kind of like these plays, like you can see here. What's a good example? Here, the first play OddsJam's recommending is Scantling over 19.5 receiving yards. This play is obviously good, but I kind of like this play. It disappeared on Nick Mullins a little better because you have 3 data points, right? Not a ton of sports books have NFL player prop lines for the preseason, but you can see we have Vivid Picks, PrizePicks, and ParlayPlay. That's 3 data points, and they're all pricing this line at 105.5. Underdogs at 111.5. That's valuable information for us, right, as sharp bettors. Whereas here for Scantling, you only have 2 other data points, right? Underdog has the line at 19.5. PrizePicks, it looks like, has the line at 22.5. And then ParlayPlay's at 24.5. So let's start building a slip on Underdog Fantasy. So let me just reload this. And of course, they moved Kyle Trask. So they are on top of their lines. That's really what I mean when I talk about you got to move quickly, to get in on the best betting opportunities. These lines are not going to last forever, especially the best ones. But regardless, let's just start building a slip. As I've been saying, but they keep moving lines on me. So let's just refresh this. Nick Mullins, you can see they already bumped him down to 107.5. It was just at 111.5. So again, like, we are taking advantage of inefficiencies in the market. A lot of people talk about handicapping. This is very different, right? This is using data, being a sharp bettor, treating yourself like a hedge fund, right? Finding these inefficiencies in the market, plays with an edge, and, taking advantage of them. So let's take Kyle Trask. Did they get rid of this play, or are they going to put it back? And you can see Scantling they just removed. Oh my gosh. So Underdog Fantasy is on top of their lines, at least for the NFL, or someone's picking them off before I'm able to get these down, which is pretty annoying, but regardless, whatever. So let's start out here. Let's start with esports, and let's hopefully they don't remove any of these lines. So we can go here. I'll just go to esports very quickly. So if we take a look at this player, Lou, in Dota, so this game's not till midnight, but regardless, I don't really care what I'm betting on. I've explained this before. Like, everyone loves the NFL. I love the NFL. But if there's 2 kill line discrepancies in esports, I'm going to be betting on esports, right? So here we have a big line discrepancy between Underdog and PrizePicks. So one strategy that you can, implement is what you could do, and what a lot of people will do, is when you find these inefficiencies, especially in sports where there's, not a ton of books that post odds, is what you could do is you could take the over on Underdog. I swear there's someone from the live stream. There's an Underdog employee. There has to be on this live stream. They literally just removed this line as well on Lou. So pretty crazy. So maybe we got to start on PrizePicks. I mean, they literally just removed it. But what you could have done is taken the over 8.5, the under 10.5 on PrizePicks. And then if you have the over 8.5, the under 10.5, if this guy has exactly 9 or 10 kills, then you're going to win both bets. Man, so anyways, very frustrating. But anyways, maybe we start with PrizePicks. We can take a look at PrizePicks first. Just given Underdog moving all these lines on us. So where do we want to start? Where do we want to start? So again, like plays like this, it's useful to see line discrepancies, but when it's only ParlayPlay and PrizePicks who are posting lines, it's not really clear, like, okay, which sportsbook is screwing up lines. Like the best plays are when there are, you know, tons of sportsbooks that are posting lines. So like Jace Peterson, this is a great play on PrizePicks. A bunch of books post MLB lines, so we can actually start here. Let's go to the MLB, and we'll just start with PrizePicks today in this video. Well, we already hit a play on Fliff, but regardless. So the first play we can take, are you serious? Is this gone now too? So we'll start with Matt Manning over 3.5 strikeouts. We can also start with ParlayPlay if we're not able to find, you know, if PrizePicks starts moving lines on us, because it looks like there's a lot of plays on ParlayPlay as well. So again, like the strategy for PrizePicks is pretty simple. So here we have Perez over 5.5 strikeouts. So these are the first two plays we're going to go with. So you can see this plays on the positive EV tool. Is PrizePicks, right, is it's a fixed payout platform, right? So essentially, it doesn't matter on PrizePicks if you take over versus under. It doesn't matter what 2 picks you select. PrizePicks, any 2-pick entry, you're getting a 3x payout. So PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform. So essentially, the strategy for beating PrizePicks is, right, PrizePicks, they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So you just want to find the plays that are winning at the highest possible rate. So you can either find, you know, line inefficiencies in the market, or, you know, so here's a good play. I already actually locked this in earlier, but we'll play it again. So if you look at this, and it looks like they bumped it up. So anyways, maybe we won't. But Yuri Perez, PrizePicks has his line at 5.5. All of the sports books also have this guy's line at 5.5 strikeouts, but they have the over heavily favored, right? So Pinnacle, Bet Online, 2 really sharp sports books, Caesars, all of these sports books are saying, hey, you know, Perez is a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. They have the over as the favored outcome, as the more likely outcome. So he's more likely to go over. So obviously we want to take his over on PrizePicks, since you don't get a different payout if you take the under. So of course we want to take the over. So I'll go ahead, I'll load up this pick, and then we can just refresh this as well. And we can take a look just kind of at these other plays in the market. So CJ Stroud, maybe we get a little preseason action on right here. So if we go to the NFL preseason, where is it? NFL preseason, we can take Stroud over 60.5 yards. So, you know, you can see here, let's go back here. Underdog Fantasy has his line higher. That's a data point, right? This tool, again, is just pointing out value. And the way to beat PrizePicks is you either find lines, right, where sports books have one side of the market heavily favored. In this case, it's Perez is over, or you find these line inefficiencies. So you can see Vivid Picks, which is a new platform, right? So I definitely recommend signing up. The more sports books you have, the better. All these books have, you know, promos, like you can see here, right? Underdog Fantasy, or sorry, this is Hot Streak. They have an 100% deposit match for new users. You know, it just takes a second to sign up for these sports books. But anyways, let's go to Pick'em. And again, like Underdog Fantasy with this promo on Richardson, if you can't make money betting on these no-brainer promos like Anthony Richardson over 0.5 yard, then you're not going to make money, you know, playing on these sports books, period. Which is why I recommend, you know, get as many books as possible. Start out with betting the promos, build your bankroll. Like these promos are easy money. Anthony Richardson to go over 0.5 yard. And you'll start to gain more confidence, you know, kind of in your ability to beat the books as you take advantage of these no-brainer promos. So CJ Stroud, his line, you know, on PrizePicks is 60.5. The other sports books have him at 65.5, 63.5. So it seems like decent value there. What else do we like? So again, this play on David Mills, there's only one other sports book posting lines, Underdog. So here we have a discrepancy between PrizePicks and Underdog. In general, you know, it's like, but which side is wrong? So what we can do is we can take Kenny Pickett over 74.5. So here's another play, Steelers, right? So you take a look at Underdog Fantasy, right? We found a line inefficiency. We found value in the market. Again, I don't think I can outmodel the sports books. So many people think, oh, the way I'm going to beat the sports books is I'm going to create a better model than FanDuel, PrizePicks. Good luck with that, right? These are billion-dollar companies that have invested, a ton of money in their ability to set lines, to price lines. That's not the way you're going to beat them, right? The way you're going to beat these books is by finding inefficiencies in the market and taking advantage of them. So we can see there's some different plays. I mean, there's a fair amount of NFL plays out there, fair amount of NFL line discrepancies. Just trying to see what else do we like. There's some Dota plays, some esports plays. So let's take a look here. What else do we like? What else do we like? And again, like you can really just go down the list and take the picks in green. You can middle bet. Like there's different ways you can use this tool. I just kind of like to do a little more research. Ideally, try to find plays where there's a bunch of sports books that are lining up and telling you, there's a book that's going the wrong way. So anyways, maybe we start with, sure, Josh Allen under 89.5 passing yards. So this works for me, right? So here we can see PrizePicks has his line too high. You in general just want to take these picks in green, but whatever. Fine to have one yellow one. You can see all the books have the under favored, all the other books have his line, at 85.5 or 8. Maybe we don't like this play. Vivid Picks has an extra yard of value. Underdog is pretty substantially lower. So maybe we go with this play. Paramo over half of a base. So what we can do is we can get rid of this. Taking a little bit of time to build our first slip on PrizePicks, but whatever. This will be the first play we go with. 5 flex play. Right? Pretty simple. And again, I try to focus on the education. Like you don't even have to use OddsJam. You don't need to use any service. It's pretty simple. If you're trying to beat PrizePicks, you can pull up the sports books like FanDuel, right? You can pull up the sports books like FanDuel, take a look at their lines, and look for these plays like Perez, right? You want to find lines where sports books are telling you, hey, the over is a lot more likely. The over is the heavily favored or the heavily juiced outcome. Just like here, all the sports books have Perez heavily favored to go over 5.5 strikeouts. That's why this play is profitable on PrizePicks. And I just try to focus on like the educational stuff just because I really think, that's what's helpful. That's what's going to, help you win more slips on these platforms long term. So I've actually broken down, we have some videos about this, but PrizePicks, if you go through the math behind a 5 flex play, this is literally just the payouts of a 5 flex play. All I did was I backed out what percentage of picks do you have to win to be profitable on PrizePicks, and it's 54.25%, right? So the way that PrizePicks, beats sports bettors is most sports bettors can't get an edge, right? If you can't get an edge, you're only going to win these over-unders 50% of the time, right? If you don't have an edge, you picking over versus under is going to be like you flipping a coin, heads versus tails, over versus under. If you don't have an edge, you're going to win 50% of your player prop over-unders, and you're going to lose 50%. And if you win 50%, you lose 50%, your ROI on PrizePicks will be negative 25%, right? You can kind of play around with this, right? PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform. Everything boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win. If you can win your player props, your over-unders 57% of the time. So if you can hit picks like this, right, 57% of the time, if you can get these right, then your ROI is going to be positive 19.25%. So everything is about winning your player props above 54.25% of the time. So you pull up PrizePicks, you pull up the sports books, you look for spots where sports books have one side, either the over or the under, obviously, heavily favored, and that's going to be a good bet to go with. Anyways, we'll go back to Underdog Fantasy in a second. You can see there's some good bets on Betway, on the positive EV tool. I included a promo code below for a free month of OddsJam. You want to try out data-driven sports betting, give it a try. Promise you, you're going to make more money if you stop betting with your gut. So what we can do is we can actually take this play Perdomo. We can take this play also on ParlayPlay. So I've explained this before, but ParlayPlay, it's not as popular of a platform as PrizePicks. But I mean, you know, again, like who cares what's popular? Parlay play actually has better payouts. So you can see like if you just create a little, okay, if you just create a little 6 flex play, right? You're going to see this is the payout on parlay play. Whereas on PrizePicks, if you create, you know, whatever, a 6 flex. So if we just select a bunch of different crap and we create a little 6 flex, you're going to see on PrizePicks, if you go 5 for 6 in a 6-pick entry, PrizePicks only gives you a 2x payout. Whereas on parlay play, they're giving you a 2.5x payout, right? If you go 4 for 6 on parlay play, you get a 0.5x payout. PrizePicks only gives you a 0.4x payout. So like parlay play has higher payouts, better payouts than PrizePicks. It's an easier platform to, you know, make money off of, to beat. Anyways, if you missed the PrizePicks play from earlier, here's the full slip, right? You can see right here, full slip, boom, boom, boom. We got 3 MLB picks and then 2 NFL picks. But anyways, let's start out with parlay play before we go back to Underdog Fantasy. So Zach Wilson over 97.5 yards. Verify my location. So I want to make sure this works so I don't have to redo it. But we'll start with Zach Wilson over 97.5 passing yards. Underdog has his line at 103.5. Again, this fantasy optimizer is just pointing out line discrepancies. When you're trying to get an edge on PrizePicks, obviously that's going to help you increase your win rate when you're finding value in the market. And again, because parlay play, so, well, whatever. I won't pull it up. Anyways, let's go back here. Let's hit some slips on parlay play, and then we can go back to Underdog Fantasy. So we'll start out with Zach Wilson. We'll take him over 97.5 passing yards. That seems like a pretty good play to go with. What else do we want to go with? Nate Sutfield under 115.5. This seems decent. I mean, again, you kind of had different options. Like what you could do is there's a pretty big line discrepancy between Underdog Fantasy and parlay play. Parlay play has his line at 115.5. Underdog's at, 107.5. So what you could do is you could middle bet this. You could hit the under on parlay play, the over on Underdog Fantasy, right? You have an 8-yard middle. If he ends up with 110 passing yards, you're going to win both bets. So another benefit of parlay play, right? I try to focus on the benefits of each sports book is they have this line slider, right? So essentially every single day, it's only for a max of like $20, but you can slide the line, right? On just one pick. You can't do it for both picks. So I was already going to bet Nate Sudfield under 115.5 passing. But what I can do is I can slide the line. I mean, you can kind of see that right here and get an additional 2.5 yards of value up to 118. So this is like a recurring promo. You can do it every single day. And again, like it's pretty simple. Getting an extra 2.5 yards of value, it's only going to help you cash more slips, win more plays long-term. I mean, nothing complicated. So Kyle Trask over 77.5. Okay. So again, just kind of all the other books have the line higher. Underdog Fantasy has the line higher. So that play seems pretty good to go with. See, there's a lot of line discrepancies in general. Clayton Tune over 115.5. And again, I just try to focus on the plays where there's 3 data points, right? Like here, parlay play has the line at 115.5. All the other sports books, we have 3 sports books lining up. $2 billion companies, Underdog, PrizePicks, really sophisticated models. They're also taking bets, moving around lines due to supply and demand. Like what a lot of people forget, wow, this play on Perez, wow, there's a lot of MLB plays actually. So we can go to parlay play here in a second. And again, parlay play is the same as PrizePicks. This is a platform, right, where they're not changing your payout. You can see here, any 2-pick entry, overs, unders, whatever, you're always getting a 3x payout. They're not changing your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So the strategy's, pretty simple. You just want to find spots where sports books have an over or an under heavily favored. You can do this manually, pull up the sports books, or obviously, the positive EV tool, the fantasy optimizer, are constantly scanning the market, reading in all this data, and they're just going to point out these plays to you. So we're going to double down on Perez. I already have this on PrizePicks. But again, ParlayPlay has higher payouts than PrizePicks. So like a lot of people have loyalty to sportsbooks. It's like these sportsbooks hate you. They are trying to make money off of you, right? You shouldn't have loyalty to a sportsbook because it has a better interface or some BS like that. So what we can do is we can take Harper over 1.5 bases, right? Just kind of taking a look at all these plays. So Marlins, Dodgers, we got Perez, okay. And again, the strategy is very simple, right? Like I'm just following the data. All sportsbooks have Harper heavily favored to go over 1.5 bases. So he's more likely to go over. ParlayPlay is a platform where they're not changing your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So you want to take his over. Pretty simple. So Matt Manning over 3.5. We had that on PrizePicks as well. So this is kind of a little bit of a double down, but that's just how it is sometimes. And maybe I'll save this play on Nate Sutfield. I'll save my little bonus play, and we can lock in Irvin over 4.5. So this play obviously is barely profitable. But again, the combined profit margin of our slip, because all of our plays are profitable, is going to be pretty good. So Jake Irvin over 4.5 strikeouts. Well, I don't really like that play actually because I'm taking Bryce Harper over 1.5 bases. So I don't want to take the opposing pitcher to go over 4.5 strikeouts. That doesn't make much sense. So let's reload this. And what we can do is, what was the play we wanted to take? Sudfield over under 115.5. So again, it's kind of up to you. You can, include the promo here, right? And I think the max, if you're going to include that promo pick, is $20. So the max is $20. So I'll just hit this for $20, right? With the promo where I'm adding, the 3 yards for Nate Sudfield. But what I can do is maybe I'm like, okay, but I'm also down to dabble with this play, period. So what I can do is go back here. And just before the lines move, again, you've seen how quickly Underdog Fantasy has moved some of these lines on us during this live stream. It's literally insane. But what we can do is we can, where is this Perdomo guy? So what I can do is just try to move quickly, get in all these bets I was going to place anyways, and we can play it for the full amount just because the promo was only for whatever. The promo was only for a max bet size of $20. So what we can do is we can create a little beautiful slip right here. Let's reload this. Let's get one final play. Again, 6 pick insured entries are what you want to play on ParlayPlay, right? So what we can do is we can take Zach Wilson over 97.5. Again, all the other sports books have this line significantly higher at 103.5, something like that. So we can go here and we can try to hit this for the full amount before the line moves. So we'll see how much they let me bet. So you can see this is what sucks is ParlayPlay only has a max bet size of $60 for these, 6 pick entries. And I'm pretty sure they're only going to let me bet 40. So they're only going to let me bet 40 because I already bet 20, with the promo. So I'm only going to be able to hit this for 40, but whatever. So again, a lot of people they're like, how is it possible that you can make money sports betting? I mean, it's pretty simple, right? These books have max betting limits. You can see on Underdog Fantasy, you can only place $100 bets. This is a great side hustle and you can make a lot of money doing it. But at the end of the day, when your max bet size on ParlayPlay is $60, your upside, your earnings is, kind of going to be capped. So you can see on ParlayPlay, I have a little less than a 10% ROI. I bet roughly $16K. I'm up $1,500. I mean, that's kind of in line with all sports books. I'm not going to win every bet, but over a large sample size, all of the plays have an edge. I'm going to win long term, right? So, 10% ROI, 9%, kind of in line with these other fantasy sites. But anyways, maybe we go back to Underdog and let's play with Underdog Fantasy a bit. So again, what you could do, what a lot of people love to middle bet. So again, middle betting is, where is it? So again, middle betting is pretty simple. We already have Nate Sudfield under 118 passing yards. So what you could do is you could take his over 107.5 And then you're rooting for, Sudfeld to have between 108 and 118 passing yards, because then you're going to cash your over and your under. Again, because all these books set lines independently, when their models get super, super out of sync with, one another, sometimes you can middle bet, take an under 118 and over 107.5. And if this player has, between 118 or whatever passing yards, you're going to win both bets. So where should we start? I'm worried they're just going to move everything on me, but we'll give it a try. So we have Dust over 10, Dota 2, Esports Play. So again, like over 10.5, I apologize. So again, like, just kind of how it goes. Some of these lines are going to move pretty quickly. You can see PrizePicks has this guy's line at 12. So again, OddsJam is just a source of information, right? It's helping you make more informed bets, reading in all this data. Usually there's no value, out of these 1,000, 2,000 esports lines on Underdog Fantasy, most of these bets, there's not line discrepancies, there's not value. So another thing you can do is, again, if you're starting out sports betting, pull up PrizePicks on your phone, pull up Underdog, pull up ParlayPlay. You can scan around, you can look for discrepancies, value in the market. That's just going to help you, again, win more slips. But what we can do is, this play I like, Aaron Judge under 2 bases. Sportsbooks have his line at 1.5. So let's see about PrizePicks. Where does PrizePicks have his line? MLB. We can check out Judge, 1.5, right? So all these other books have Aaron Judge's line at 1.5 total bases, right? This game's actually about to start. So this is a great play on Underdog Fantasy that hopefully we're going to be able to get down. Assuming they don't pull it on us again, or someone, fronts the line in front of me or moves the line in front of me. So again, like what I recommend doing, I just follow a data-driven approach, because again, all you have to do to be profitable on PrizePicks is win 54.25% of your picks. Nobody's going to win every day. Whoever says they're winning every day is full of BS, right? It's just not possible. All you have to do to be profitable long-term is win 54.25% of your picks. And the easiest way to do that is by finding these line discrepancies in the market. So here you can see for Aaron Judge on the sportsbook screen, all the sportsbooks have his line at 1.5. All the fantasy sites, ParlayPlay, PrizePicks, SportsBattle, they all have his line at 1.5. Underdog Fantasy's at 2. That's an inefficiency in the market. They're screwing up a line. That's a line we want to take advantage of. So what's the final play we want to go with? So I'm going to skip over these NFL plays just for a second. We can actually filter it out. Again, just like there's not a lot of books that post NFL player prop lines. So I'm just going to skip over that for a second. And what we can do is we can look for some plays. So maybe we do take this IOU over 9.5. So over 9.5. So this is going to be my slip. Again, it looks like such a random slip. I get it. It is such a random slip. But that's where the value is. And I love this play on Aaron Judge. All the other fantasy sites have his line at 1.5. If Aaron Judge doubles, has 2 singles, guess what? I'm going to push. Anyone else who placed a bet on Judge under 1.5 bases is going to lose. These additional plays with value, getting those extra half point, 2 points of value, that's how you turn losing slips into winning slips and win long term. So let's go ahead. Let's lock this in for $100. Again, Underdog Fantasy has a 6x payout for 3-pick parlays. You're betting 100 to win 600. So boom, we went ahead. We locked it in. Again, you're going to see most of my plays on Underdog Fantasy are 3-pick entries, right? They're giving you a 6x payout. And yeah, you are reading this right. I did go 5 for 5. If you were on the live streams yesterday, I'm sure, you're feeling pretty good about your life. So let's go back here. So the reason you won't see me play 3-pick entries on like PrizePicks is PrizePicks, right? They're only giving you a 5x payout. 5x payout for these 3-pick parlays. Underdog Fantasy 6x. This makes a huge difference, like a huge difference in terms of your profitability long term. So where do we want to go next? So we can pull up, we can try to see, okay, is there any more plays on Fliff? And there are some plays on Fliff. I mean, a little bit of value under 7 runs. Didn't we already bet this? No. So I already bet this. Look at this. Beautiful. This under 7 at plus 160 is profitable, right? It's a positive EV bet. It's a play with value. We got this. If you follow on Twitter, I hit this at plus 190, right? Like, again, nobody wins every bet, right? Getting the additional value, making more money when your bets win, getting better odds, getting better lines, winning more slips, pushing when other people are going to lose. That's how you go from being a losing sports bettor to a winning sports bettor. And again, the reason I love sports betting so much is your returns are daily. If you can figure out how to get a positive ROI, your returns are daily. Like, we're betting on games that are today. All of these games are today. If you can have a 2% profit margin on your MLB bets, 2% a day, 2% ROI on your bets, 30 days in a month, that's a 60% ROI over the course of a month. 2% a day, 30 days in a month, 60% ROI. Aaron Judge hit a home run, plus 190, looks solid on FanDuel. I know I just took him under 2 bases, but regardless, for the people who like betting dingers, FanDuel is giving a ton of value, a shit ton of value at plus 190. All the other books around plus 140. But anyways, let's go back here. Let's look for some plays. And again, if you didn't already bet the promo on Underdog Fantasy, Anthony Richardson, total yards line, they're bringing him down to 0.5 as part of a promo. Easiest money you're going to make sports betting is taking advantage of these promos, these sign-up offers, stuff like that, $100 sign-up matches, all that crap. So all of my refer a friend codes for these sports books are below in the description. This play looks incredible. I mean, it sucks not having FanDuel, being in a state without FanDuel. There are so many good lines on FanDuel. Dela Cruz over 1.5 hits, plus 250. Literally no other book giving you above plus 200. Bet Online, pretty sharp sports book around plus 186. That sucks. So no value on Sleeper. Honestly, I almost never find good plays on Sleeper. I really just bet the promos. I put in $100. It's up at, I'm not even sure. Not even sure how this site works completely. But long story short, I don't find a ton of good plays on Sleeper in general. So we'll kind of skip over that. Jock Market, it looks like there's some decent plays, but I can't get Jock Market on my computer. So we'll go back to Underdog Fantasy. Why not? Let's look for some football bets. Then maybe we can go back to PrizePicks. Then maybe we can DoorDash and take a look at everything available in the market. So again, NFL preseason, you can see there's some pretty good line discrepancies. But what kind of sucks about it is just not a lot of books post lines, right? When you're betting on, Brian Dela Cruz over 1.5 hits, like, it's clear as day, this is a bet you want to take on FanDuel, right? FanDuel's pricing this at plus 250. The market in sports betting so fragmented, so inefficient, right? The easiest way to make serious cash betting is just taking advantage of these inefficient lines, right? FanDuel has this plus 250, and we have tons of other sports books. Those are only the sports books in Colorado. If you switch your state around to a different state, let's see what, I'm sure there's, let's go back here. Maybe that's not going to work. What is going on? Not sure why it just disappeared on me. But anyways, we can refresh. I'm sure it'll come back. For now, we'll go back to Underdog Fantasy. So here we go. There we go. It's back. So if we just select all sports books, the top play is on Dela Cruz. Is you have tons of other data points, right? There's a bunch of other sports books telling you, yo, this should be priced at plus 170-ish, plus 180-ish. Whereas, when you're betting on the NFL preseason, there's only a few books posting lines. So you should be a little less confident. This play is a slam. Every other sports book is pricing this around plus 170, plus 185, whatever. Whereas in, NFL preseason, there's only a few books posting lines. So obviously you can still find value. You can still make money betting on it, but just tread a little carefully. All these plays, right? Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, ParlayPlay. Looks like there's some good lines, but only 3 sports books total posting lines. There's some good middling opportunities as well. So Aaron Judge under 2 bases. I really do like this play. I mean, this was definitely the best play on the board. So they're not moving this one. Underdog has the line at 2, literally across the board. Everyone else has the line at 1.5. Fantasy sites, stuff like that. So esports on Underdog Fantasy has a max bet size of $100 for me. So I can only play $100 on esports plays. But if we look up what the heck? So let me reload this quickly. But for MLB plays, if I just want to take MLB plays, so what we can do is we can pull up like Manning. They give me a max bet size of $250. So I already bet $100 on Judge under 2 bases, but I still have another $150 because I can bet up to $250 on MLB plays. It was just in the last play, we included an esports play. So we could middle bet this. As I mentioned, we have the under 118 on ParlayPlay. We could hit the over 107.5 on Underdog, work ourselves into a nice little middle. Or we could take this play. What do we have on PrizePicks? What do we go with on PrizePicks again? We have CJ Stroud. Okay, so maybe we take Mills under 94.5 passing yards. So what the heck? Davis Mills under 86.5. It looks like they bumped him up to 94.5. So if we look at PrizePicks, they have this guy's line at, oh, whoops. Yeah. What? I'm not sure what's going on here. So PrizePicks bumped him up to 86.5. ParlayPlay has his line. Where does ParlayPlay have this guy's line? ParlayPlay isn't even posting a line on Davis Mills anymore. These NFL lines whip around. PrizePicks has the line at 86.5. Underdog just bumped him up to 94.5. Not really sure what's going on. So maybe we just like hold off on this play for a second. Not sure what's going on here, but we can try to find some other good picks. Josh Allen over 85.5. What do we like? So let's go back here. What we can do is let's take a, okay, so maybe we take Josh Allen. So they just bumped him down to 75.5. Oh, no, I'm looking at, what is going on? You can see here, they have 2 different lines. Oh, no, that's Kyle Allen. They look exactly alike, and they both have the same last name. I was getting confused. Josh Allen's line on Underdog is 85.5. Vivid Picks, 90.5. PrizePicks has the line at 89.5. Man, I was getting confused. I thought I was going crazy. So we want to take the over 85.5. So we're betting on the New York teams. So this play seems solid. Sam Darnold under 82.5. So maybe we go with that. And then this can make another little entry, right? Following the value in the market. So sure, this play seems good enough to go with. So we can lock it in. The projection has changed. And of course, they just lock. What did they lock? Aaron Judge? Doesn't look like it went away. Let me bet it. So let's see if they let me bet it after refreshing. What projection changed? And you can see they removed Aaron Judge. So that's definitely annoying. But whatever. What we can do is we can go back here. Any plays on Fliff we want to go with. You know, pretty low profit margin. Meh. Whatever. We'll skip it over. A lot of NFL plays. Aaron Judge play just moved. Kind of sucks. We can pull up ParlayPlay. We can pull up PrizePicks. Maybe there will be some value out there. But I think, you know, it's just NFL, 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 NFL. A lot of NFL in general, which I don't have a problem with. But I think for now, it's been a pretty long live stream. We'll just call it. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. I'll include my email in the description. A lot of NFL plays. Good to be back. Actually, let's make one final play on ParlayPlay. Looks like there's some pretty good plays on ParlayPlay. So Nico under 43.5. Again, like on ParlayPlay, they give you such good payouts. You barely need to win above like 53% of your picks. If you can just win like 53.5% of your player props, like this player prop, if you can win like 53.5%, you're going to be profitable on ParlayPlay, right? So finding value, finding these inefficient lines is how you increase your win rate, right? If the other books are saying this guy's line should be at 40.5, 41.5, ParlayPlay's at 43.5, you know, all we're doing is we're increasing our win rate, right? We're finding plays with an edge. So what we can do, man, there are just so many plays. So we want Sonny Gray over 17.5 outs. So this is our second play. And what we can do is let's just filter out NFL for a second. We've hit a lot of these NFL plays. And again, what kind of sucks about the NFL is there's just not a ton of books posting lines. So this play looks incredible. So Perez under 5 hits allowed, right? Day trade in the sports book. So if we go ahead, we pull up the sports book screen. We can take a look at this very quickly. Player hits allowed. Just kind of see what's going on here. So PrizePicks, I mean, all the books, all the fantasy sites kind of have his line at 5, but you can see, well, that's not true. JockMKT, a fantasy site, SportsBattle has his line at 4.5. And you can see Caesars, all the major sports books have bumped his line down to 4.5. A lot of them actually have the under favored, right? Or split, right? Pinnacle, known to be one of the sharpest bookmakers, Caesars, all these books have the line at 4.5. DraftKings, right? Like all these books are data points, right? They all have sophisticated models. They're taking bets. They're reacting to injury news. DraftKings has his line at 4.5 with the under as the favored outcome, right? DraftKings has the under juiced. So this play actually looks good. This play looks good on Underdog Fantasy as well. Man, I wish they put back that play on Aaron Judge. So we can try to take this on ParlayPlay. We could also take this on Underdog Fantasy if we want to double down. Again, just because they have pretty low betting limits on that platform. So what we can do is we can go here. We can just select ParlayPlay. And again, on ParlayPlay, you ideally want to play 6 pick entries, but 5 are pretty similar. So, I mean, whatever, 5, 6 pick entries really doesn't matter that much in terms of your payout, in terms of the profitability of the entry. So what we can do is we can go back here. Let's open up the fantasy optimizer as well. So we already have this play on Manning. So we want Olsen under and Elias Diaz over. So Olsen under in total bases. Again, very simple strategy, right? Very, 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 very simple strategy, right? Look for spots where sportsbooks have the over or under heavily favored. So for Matt Olsen, all the books have his under 1.5 bases heavily favored. ParlayPlay, this is a platform where they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. Your payout doesn't change, right? So of course, you just want to find picks. So let's go back here to ParlayPlay very quickly. Let's get rid of the NFL, see if we can find enough plays without the NFL, just because, again, there's just not a ton of books posting player prop lines for the NFL. So Perez under 5 hits allowed. That play seems pretty good. Chelsea Plum over 17.5 points. Let's take a, I mean, we can pull up this. We can take a look. Here we can see some of the other plays we went with. So if we want to, we can just go over here to the WNBA. We can pull up player points, and we can take a look at Kelsey Plum. You know, you can see sportsbooks kind of bumped her up to like 18.5, 17.5, some disagreements in the market, whatever. Maybe we skip over that play. Again, all we need to find is 6 picks, right? So here, this play on owner, the only other sportsbook posting lines is Underdog Fantasy. So it's Underdog versus ParlayPlay. You only have 2 data points. So that's kind of like less appealing to us, right? So what about Jackie Young? We can check out Jackie Young. WNBA lines move a lot, right? So you can see sportsbooks have her line at like 17.5. It's kind of split. Doesn't really seem clear. I try to look for the plays that are very clearly good, right? So this play seems good. Bro, under 35.5, Underdog and PrizePicks both have his line lower. So again, these are plays with a win rate. So here we go. Okay. And now we have a nice little 6-pick entry on ParlayPlay, another sharp bet that we can add to our portfolio. Again, we're like forming our own hedge fund of profitable bets, right? Of course, the max bet size on ParlayPlay is only $60, but whatever, just kind of how it goes. And we found some really good plays. So we can go back to Underdog. It looks like they're starting to drop esports lines. So if you take a look at this player, Yupaton, his line on PrizePicks, I didn't see this line earlier. His line on PrizePicks is 8.5. Underdog has his line at 6, right? You will never get this type of inefficiency. It's crazy. In this play on Davis Mills, under 94.5. So let's go with this. Underdog Fantasy. So fun to mess with. So it looks like a lot of esports lines just dropped. So what we can do is we can get rid of football very quickly. Kind of look at all these esports line discrepancies. These just popped up. These weren't available, previously. So let's go to Milan. And then this is an esports play. So let's just zone in on esports. So all these players are on the same team, though. So we're not going to be able to. Kiantu under 7.5. So this works well. We actually, in esports, you get positive correlation on Underdog. If you're going with 4-pick entries, you want them to be insured. Again, we can break down the math, but there's other videos on YouTube where I literally break down the math. I sit there, I walk you through the payouts, explain why Underdog Fantasy, it's optimal to go with 4-pick insured entries if you want to do 4-pick entries. But what I was going to say is in esports, you get positive correlation if you take players on opposing teams to go opposite directions. So I want to take this play on Perez hits allowed. I want to take this under again. Messing with Underdog Fantasy today. They were messing with me earlier, moving all these lines on me, but no longer. So let's go to Yuri. Right, you can see PrizePicks dropped his line to 4.5. All the books ripped his line down to 4.5. Again, this is a dynamic market, right? Like I explain this all the time. A lot of people are surprised sports books like move around odds. It's like you can see here. I mean, some of the line movements are pretty crazy. I'm sure, especially in the NFL preseason. So if I pull up, a preseason game, we got the Jags game. Like sports books are constantly moving around lines due to bets coming in, supply and demand, all that type of stuff, right? Injury news, lineup changes. Like I've explained this before too, but a lot of times you'll see crazy good MLB bets occur as lineups are released, right? Like when the Phillies starting lineup is released, the Phillies are playing the Nationals. This affects the Nationals starting pitcher, right? This affects his strikeout line, his pitching outs line, his walks allowed line, right? Once the starting lineups are released, that's new information in the market that the market has to adjust to, which is why you'll see lines move. Underdog Fantasy they just pulled this line on Perez. Man, they are not happy today. They are moving. They're moving. But anyways, let's go back here because there were a lot of esports plays. So we can continue to try to rip them on some of these esports plays. Again, you could middle bet all of these esports lines. Man, come on, bro. We have owner, did not come through for us, ended up with 4. But again, we're looking pretty beautiful. We've been looking good on Underdog Fantasy. Overall, damn, we were close on these last 3 ones as well. But again, we went 5 for 5 yesterday. Nothing to complain about. So if we go back here, what we can do is we can start looking for some new esports plays. So I already took Yupaton and Kintao. So what I can do is I can start out with Steel under 7.5, right? You take a look at PrizePicks. It's just data-driven sports betting. We are day trading these damn sports books, taking advantage of their inefficiencies to make money. On PrizePicks, they have his line at 5.5. You can middle bet this, take the over 5.5, the under 7.5. Again, just crazy amount of line discrepancies in esports. It is absolutely amazing. It is an amazing time to be alive betting on League of Legends. So did I already bet this play on Milan? No, I didn't. All these random esports players. So we can go to Milan. So I'm not going to be able to bet these players because they're on the same team. In esports, you can't pair players on the same team. Unfortunately, I already took this play on Kin Tao. So it looks like just a ton of line discrepancies like PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy. Their models are really out of sync for, SBH, DBM. Like they are dropping esports lines with no clue what they're doing. So not that I'm complaining. To be clear, I'm not complaining. So we can take Croc under 7 as well. And again, this is how you increase your win rate. This is how you win more bets, right? You find these inefficiencies in the market. You take advantage of them. So Dust over 10.5. I think we already locked in that play. Merrill Kelly. What else do we like? V-Tune under 18. Sure. So here we have another 3-pick entry. Again, just crazy line discrepancies in esports. In general, PrizePicks tends to be the sharper side. So, you could middle bet this. I mean, like imagine an NBA player. You'd never see it. You'd think there was a promotion going on. Like one of those, you'd think it was Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks. They got the line at 5.5, Underdog Fantasy 7.5. You could middle bet this, hit the over, hit the under here. If he has 6 or 7 kills, you're going to win both bets. But I'm just going to take Underdog Fantasy outright. I'm just going to load it up as an outright. Cool. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So we could middle bet this. Again, you could middle bet this. You don't have to. You can. And there's a lot of line discrepancies. Also, that looks kind of nice. Well, never mind. Let's go back here. Let's go to Underdog. Any other plays we want to go with? I think we'll call it for now. So hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, but thanks so much.